Hey guys, it's been almost 2 years since the What Were They Thinking video about movies that were so clumsily adapted to film that they didn't even look like the same story really. Now as always, if you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button for me so I can keep this channel growing, and hit the notification bell for you so you never miss a thing. This year's What Were They Thinking is about 3 horror movies that actually, more or less, got a lot of laughs. Starting with Sleepwalkers. Now, Sleepwalkers never was a book. I went looking for the book. This one just went straight to screenplay, and it's about an incestuous mother-son couple who are secretly feline demons who sustain themselves by sucking the oxygen out of virgin girls. They also have superhuman strength, as demonstrated by them biting fingers off, ripping hands off, and performing a successful assassination with a vegetable. What makes it puzzling is if you don't suspend your notion of reality and disbelief, is that after all these years, perhaps hundreds of them, of sucking air out of virgins, why Tanya is the only one to ever put up a fight. And isn't it quite the coincidence that they should settle in probably the only town in the world with a police cat? Even though they are feline demons, they are terrified of cats and are always trapping and killing them. For those of you who love cats, I'm one of them, all this shit looks fake as it is. Bringing us to how this horror movie becomes a comedy. When the cats attack them, it is just plain funny looking. It's fake as hell and looks like someone from the set tosses them a cat plushie and they play wrestle with it. I couldn't find all the still images I wanted of it, so I'll demonstrate with my son's Mima. Alright. Yeah, like that. When they lose this kitty wrestling match, this is the end result. Too bad, so sad. Alright, the next goofy scare comes from the first 234 pages of 4 Past Midnight. It's the Langoliers. Now this one presents a very interesting theory in time travel. That if you go into the past, you go into an empty shell of the world devoid of everything that only happens in the present moment. Ambient sound, taste, carbonation fizz, combustion. And getting back to the present, with pretty much no knowledge of how, presents enough of a scary dilemma. Until you add a crazy guy who sees people as jelly monsters, and his own imagination conjures up these evil Pac-Mans that rapidly eat the past and anyone stuck in it. The book-to-movie adaptation of Langoliers is pretty much a verbatim match. The only differences being a complete creative license as to how the crazy guy, his name is Craig Toomey, saw the people around him, and all the damage he took from the other time travelers as he went off on them were watered down. The last one for today is The Raft, a 26-page short story from Skeleton Crew, and the second segment from Creepshow 2. About the 4 friends taking a trip to the lake, and something in that lake consumes them one by one. For such a short story and short movie, there were some noticeable differences. First one is the dialogue concerning the place to go into. In the book, they talk about this lake and this raft like they've been going there for years. It's never been a problem. In the movie, their familiarity with it is only in passing, like they've drove past it a million times but never actually visited it. The second disparity is the strange substance in the water itself. In the movie, it looks like rotting water plants and pond scum. Nothing anyone would want to touch, even out of curiosity. In the book, it's strangely not disgusting. It looks like a perfect circle of black, indeterminate material, and upon closer inspection it produces iridescent colors like soap bubbles do. Hence the trap is set. One curious person touches it and all hell breaks loose. The third disparity is how watered down its attack on Deke is. This poor guy is grabbed by the foot and slowly squeezed through the half-inch or so gap between the slats of wood that make up this raft, and he's slowly dragged through. As he's slowly dragged through, all the blood in his body is squeezed upward like a toothpaste tube until it just fountains out of his ears, mouth, eyes, even his scalp. Awful way to go. The final disparity is the ending. The story ends with Randy left all alone on the raft, and it's left to our imagination as to whether he makes it or not. In the movie, Randy makes a run for it, just as this thing devours Rachel. And as he outswims it and makes it to the sand, the damn thing tidal waves on him. Then the story closes on a no swimming sign obscured by foliage. And that is all for this year's What Were They Thinking Funny Horror Films. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you back next week for Secret Window.